there, and welcome to Texas Farmstead Living. On today's video, I'm going to share with you a white bean hummus recipe without tahini. Before we get started, I wanted to share with you a little history about the bean that I'm going to use for this hummus. I'll put a timestamp below if you want to skip ahead to the recipe, but this story is really important because we really, here at our Texas Farmstead, we really focus on the foods that grow well in our geographic location and the foods that were grown historically in our area. As I've told you before, my husband is from the Texas German culture, the pioneers that came in the late 1800s and the early 1900s to the Texas Hill Country. His family is part of that. So we do live in a very old-fashioned life, and most of our seeds and things we grow are passed down through generations. So this bean that we're going to use today is called a cream pea. Now you can use cannelloni beans, you can use butter beans, you can use a navy bean, but this bean, this cream pea, grows very well in the Texas Hill Country. It loves drought and it loves heat, so it's just perfect for us. And I believe it was about 20 years ago that there was a German gentleman that owned a feed store here, and I bought a little small bag of cream peas from him, and every year since I've just been adding to my seed collection, or my number of seeds. So now we actually have we grow lots of cream peas. For one reason is it is very important food crop for us, and it is a nitrogen fixer for our soil. And when we grow it, usually the grass burrs will go away after a couple of years, and also we raise dairy cows, and our dairy cows love it, and we'll turn our chickens into the field. So it provides, it's just a real positive thing for our farmstead. So this recipe is one of my most requested. Everyone loves it, and it's just really important. We try to eat in season, and so it's a really important part of our diet. So you're going to need some kind of bean. This morning I harvested an old-fashioned garlic out of my garden that's from my mother-in-law. I would imagine she probably has been growing it 60 or 70 years. You're going to need olive oil. I order from Azure Standard, and you need lemons, 1 or 2 lemons, but I'm just going to use lemon juice today, and Celtic salt or Redmond salt. So I'm going to, the cream peas, also back to that, is I'm going to, right now we're in the middle of our cream pea season. We've already started picking. So Mr. Roofer was out this morning picking cream peas, and we planted 6 more rows just last week. So, they'll grow really well, even though we've been having 100+ temperatures. So after we let the bean dry on the vine, then we pick it, and then we have this drying rack that Mr. Roofer made, and we'll leave those cream peas in there and dry completely, sometimes even until the fall. When we have a very windy day, then we'll knock all put them in a burlap bag and knock all the shells off, and then we will winnow them. And that's usually our process, and we do gallons and gallons of those. And they do not need refrigeration or freezing. So they can just stay dry in your jar. And that is another bonus for food. Okay, let's get started on our recipe. So this bowl of cream peas was just out of the refrigerator. They make kind of a cream sauce overnight. That's why they're called cream peas. So we're gonna just put them to, we're gonna drain them in a colander. And we're going to need 2 cups of drained beans. And sometimes if you warm them, they'll drain a lot faster, but these are cold. And okay, so I use a food processor. Just kind of eyeball it. There's 1 cup. If you use canned beans, you might want to give them a rinse, and you'll have to adjust the amount of salt that you use. And if you cooked salt in your beans, you might want to taste first. Okay, so there's 2 cups. We're going to use a really large clove of garlic, but you can use, whatever you like, 1 or 2. But usually that's about right. Okay, I'm going to start with about a half teaspoon of Redmond salt. I did salt them pretty well. Okay, we're going to use 1/4 a cup of lemon juice, and like I said, maybe 1 or 2 lemons to get 1/4 a cup. I just love this recipe, and it goes great with crackers recipes, sourdough discard, einkorn crackers. Just look on my blog and look back. We have some videos. And do 1/4 a cup of olive oil. You also can take discard, which I make a lot of pizzas, and just cook it in an iron skillet, a real thin discard, and it'll be real crispy, and you can use those as crackers. In fact, that's what we're going to do today. Okay, we have our hummus really, really smooth and creamy, and I like to serve it in a white dish. I like to put a little bit of olive oil sprinkled on the top, and this is also delicious with carrot sticks. You also can use some Kalamata olives, just chop them up and put them on the top. That's really delicious, but a very simple but very delicious dip, and extremely healthy also. So maybe in your area they grow some kind of bean, and you can adapt a recipe to make hummus also. If you would like to print this recipe, head over to texasfarmsteadliving.com and you will find it posted there. Hi, I'm Karen, creator of the YouTube channel and blog Texas Farmstead Living, where we inspire, educate, and guide you into living your healthiest, best life. I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to our channel. Thank you.